Bath salts is not a term you'd think would strike dread into the hearts of cops nationwide, but it's become the street name for a potent drug that could be available at your local mall or convenience store right next to the vitamin supplements. Not only does it bring an extreme high for some, but it's also been said to cause a phenomenon known as excited delirium. And some think a ghastly crime in Miami last weekend is just the latest consequence. Here's ABC's Matt Gutman.
Watch this police video of a man in a psychotic state called excited delirium, a benign name for a syndrome that is decidedly sinister. The violence and the superhuman strength, what appears immunity to pain. Bloody, naked, and hallucinating, they fight their demons and anybody near them, walking through bullets, snapping off taser prods, growling. Those afflicted by it are literally cooking in their adrenaline-fueled bodies, minutes away from death. Most in these psychotic episodes are overdosing on drugs, and lately increasing numbers on a new drug, legal for the most part. Its street name, bath salts.
This may be the next epidemic.
Dr. Deborah Mash is a neuroscientist and one of the nation's leading experts on excited delirium and addiction.
The numbers of adverse events associated with bath salts has increased threefold in the past year.
Cases of excited delirium have shot to national attention since Saturday, when Rudy Eugene, 31, was found here in Miami, naked and chewing another man's face off.
I never thought I would see somebody else eating someone, it was really horrific.
The victim of the attack, a homeless Miami man, lost up to 80% of his face. Police think it may be connected to bath salts. And it has scientists like Mash who've been studying these drugs for a generation genuinely scared.
This raises a new fear level in me, I have to say. This is for me, is almost like a science fiction episode where someone makes a very dangerous molecule and it's released into the public.
The powder is mostly snorted, creating a euphoria or rush that comes with dangerous side effects. We rode along with Armando Aguiar, a former narcotics officer who's been patrolling these streets for 30 years.
It's very concerning to officers to know that no one officer can subdue any of these people. It takes 10 or 15 people.
Bath salts, they're not the kind you may be thinking of. These would be useless in a tub. Still legal in many states, the drug mimics the effects of cocaine or methamphetamine. But each strain is different, sold under names like Cloud 10 and Euphoria at suburban malls and even convenience stores across the country.
There's obviously a spectrum.
Dr. Jeffrey Bernstein from Florida Poison Control is an ER doctor at Miami's Jackson Memorial Hospital, and he's seen it firsthand.
In particular, the patients that call the Poison Center tell me that they are suicidal, that they have negative thoughts that they just can't get rid of. Many of them are hearing voices, and that seems to go on even after they stop the drug.
They sold it to you.
In a previous Brian Ross investigation for 2020, we saw firsthand just how dangerous bath salts can be. Dickie Sanders, an athletic young man and an avid BMX biker, had taken about $40 worth of bath salts. His father and stepmother, both doctors, were at a loss.
I'm like, bath salts? Like salts you put in your bathtub?
Dickie had snorted the powder from a packet called Cloud 9 bath salt, and it sent him into waves of hallucinations right in the kitchen. He saw non-existent police cars and helicopters.
He was counting to 20. He said, no, there's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There's at least 30 police cars out there, Dad.
And suddenly, those suicidal thoughts.
And he grabbed the butcher knife off of the counter he was standing in front of and impulsively just slashed his neck from ear to ear.
For Dickie, that cut wasn't too deep.
911.
24 hours later, his parents found him here in his bedroom, face down, bleeding, a rifle at his feet.
I said, baby, he's dead. We lost him. He's gone. He took his life because he was just scared out of his mind. His drug destroyed him.
That's the biggest fear among the medical community. More than cocaine or even meth, it seems bath salts permanently alter the brain's chemistry.
Sweating, agitation, tremulousness, all the way up to coma, hyperthermia, and death. But what impresses me the most about it are the psychiatric symptoms that people seem to get.
Dickie Sanders' death led the state of Louisiana to impose an emergency ban on the chemicals most commonly used in the so-called bath salts. But there's still no federal ban, and the drugs are still being sold in more than a dozen states.
Around the world in the headlines, Rudy Eugene is a zombie. He's a monster. He's a cannibal.
It could be weeks before a toxicology report reveals whether Rudy Eugene was high on bath salts when he attacked his victim. But with bath salts on the rise, law enforcement is bracing for more horror like this. For Nightline, I'm Matt Gutman in Miami.